Okay, we'll call the Butler Township Board of Trustees Tuesday, November 1st, 2022, meeting to order at 6 p.m. Would you please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance?
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, on to item 3, approval of the minutes. We have the regular meeting minutes of September 27th, 2022, and the workshop meeting minutes of October 11th, 2022. Does the board have any comments on those?
No comments here?
No comments.
Do I have a motion to approve them?
I make a motion to approve regular meeting minutes of September 27th, 2022, and workshop meeting minutes of October 11th, 2022.
I'll second it.
Mr. Jackson?
Yes.
Mr. Tyne?
Yes.
Ms. Brzezinski?
Yes. All right, this evening we have Ms. Kathy Peterson with us from Sinclair Community College for an update on the upcoming levy. Thank you for coming.
Thank you so much for having me. I am a proud Butler Township resident, and I'm also a volunteer with the Citizens for Sinclair campaign, and I appreciate the opportunity to take a few minutes to tell you about Sinclair's impact on Butler Township and the upcoming campaign levy that we have on the ballot a week from today. Our mission at Sinclair Community College is find a need and endeavor to meet it. It has been the same mission that we strive to accomplish every day for 136 years. If you look at the impact on Butler Township of Sinclair Community College, 157 residents were enrolled in fiscal year 2022. 27 degrees and certificates were awarded, and we have over 1,800 credits earned by Butler Township residents in fiscal year 2022. 44 high school students who live in Butler Township participate in College Credit Plus. That's our program where high school students can earn college credit, and some of them actually earn their associate's degree before they graduate high school. So that's pretty exciting.
Did you? I didn't.
And the tuition cost paid by Butler Township residents, almost $600,000, and then financial aid awarded to Butler Township residents, $320,000. You can see the incredible value of Sinclair Community College, specifically for Montgomery County residents. It is one of the lowest in the state, and the Montgomery County tuition for Montgomery County residents is lower because of the support of the levy that I'll tell you a little bit about coming up. But you can also see Adams County students also achieve incredible value at Sinclair Community College. Earnings increase with an associate degree from Sinclair Community College up to $38,000 to $22,000 after they receive their degree. We have more than 300 degree and certificate programs. 99% of our graduates rate the overall quality of Sinclair as good to excellent, and 90% of Sinclair graduates stay right here to work in the Dayton region. We've had incredible success over the past 10 years. The number of degrees and certificates earned by all students has increased over 500% since 2006. Minority students increased 470% over the past 10 years. And then you're all too still.
Good. Somebody needs to breathe. Take a breath.
Hey, you can see the increase of the number of degrees and certificates to African American students over the last 10 years. I know it's a little bit hard to see, but you can see some of the degrees and certificate completers in some of the professions that we specialize in. You can see healthcare professional, technical, first responders. And this one's even smaller text, but you can see very, very clearly highlighted
As COVID, we kids come back, come back to campus now, is that kind of open for you guys, or are you still doing remote learning too?
We actually still do some remote learning. One of the things that prior to the pandemic, that Sinclair did very well was offer remote learning. And of course we expanded it during the pandemic, but we've listened to the students what they want. And many of our students, the average age of our students is 29 years old, so they're balancing work and family life. So working or studying remotely works better for them.
I don't have a question, but among their many wonderful programs, I love the UD, Sinclair to UD pathway. I think that it's not something that people think about when they begin enrollment at Sinclair, but it's a great program that allows students in high school to come up and to be participants in everything UD while they're at Sinclair and moving forward to their four-year degree. So I appreciate that program for our residents. So thank you.
I was the beneficiary of that College Credit Plus program coming out of high school, so I was able to take 2 years of business classes at Sinclair, then going into my bachelor's, which was a phenomenal experience. So I owe Sinclair as my foundation for upper education. It's phenomenal.
Has a lot to offer our community. Thank you for coming. Okay, item 5, we have public comments. Would anyone like to address the board? Please step to the podium, state your name and address for the record.
Thank you, sir. Jeff Trick, Butler Township, 11943 Dog Leg Road. First and foremost, I'd like to thank Mike and Bryson for getting back with me on some issues that we have had, and I would like to ask you both to send those text messages to Erica and Missy, if you would, please. And then truly would also like to thank you, Mike, for the email responding. She was unable to be here tonight, but we will definitely follow up and talk. So why I am here is excessive amount of truck traffic, and not just the traffic. Traffic doesn't bother me. It is the truck traffic that has to back up down county line, and it is the truck traffic that gets stuck at the corner of Boone Road, County Line, and Dogleg Road, where they have to bring in a tow truck and pull them out sideways, and tie up the intersection all night. 5 times this past month, October, I was not able to drive up to my farm up in Miami County because of the road being blocked because of a truck can't read a sign. The deputy sheriff told us, and I'm going to say us because there was another person, a neighbor that was there, that they can't do anything about it because, and won't cite them, because a truck can go wherever they want and the signs are a mere suggestion. So I guess, and I'm going to ask this, I'm going to be kind of a smart aleck about it, but if I get pulled over for going 45 and a 35, is that a mere suggestion? I'm just asking. So, with that, for the health and safety of the residents of Butler Township, I'm asking that this board, the trustees, get together, and we get together with Monroe Township, and we get together with, if we have to, Montgomery County, and if we have to, Union, and let's get it fixed. Development is great. No one's arguing the development that's going on. Everybody has a right. I'm an officer and have been for years on Montgomery County Farm Bureau Board, and we're strong believers in property rights, property owner rights. So they have the right to sell the property to whom they want. And so I will stand by that. But I also think that we need to understand that the people who live there have property rights also. And when a development goes in, most engineers will tell you that you need to isolate the residents from that development, or isolate that development from the residents, where they're not conflicting with each other. Let's live together, but not on top of each other. So I'm worried about the traffic. I'm worried about the inconvenience of the people in our area and residents, and just the health and safety of it. And it is a big issue. And you two, Missy and Erica, when you see their text messages that I have sent, and Missy, I know you saw Julie's email, you will understand a little bit more than what Julie took. So please, we need your help. I'm asking. And Mike and Bryson caught the worst end of me, but I appreciate them listening and getting back, and thank you guys. And so we're here to do whatever we need to on our part. And I will keep sending pictures when I see it. But thank you all.
So, Mr. Trick, you said they have messages they're supposed to send to me. Is that what you're saying?
I asked them, they have a whole bunch of them, and asked them to send them to you and Erica.
Okay.
That Julie did not send, so yes.
Okay. Okay, thank you.
Yes, I mean, there's
I missed
a bunch
part of
them.
that, and I just wanted to make sure
Yeah,
part of it.
I just didn't have it, and
That's fine.
Julie and I don't always cross paths during the day, so
Just
one of us aren't home.
Same roof. Get it.
Thank you.
Thank you, Jeff.
All right. Any more comments? Good evening, Mr. Oakes.
Thank you, Chief. Richard Oakes, 1397 Jackson Road. On the other end of the problem, but also dealing with that same issue. Might add to that, because Jeff and I haven't talked about this most recent thing recently, but I think the Transportation Improvement District is also a major player in all of this, and sometimes I get the feeling that they're the ones running the show, based on my own personal experience down on Jackson Road. Question for you. Does the Hook Road Career Technology Center, the aviation section, that's an extension of Sinclair, isn't it? Because I saw the 421 classes. Yeah. Well, back in 2003, I was out there at the Career Technology Center for about 4 or 5 years to work on the class work to get my airframe and power plant FAA certification to work on airplanes. As an aside, and then my son, he actually went to Sinclair to take all of the 101s before he went down to UD to get his civil engineering degree and on to get his PE degree. So anyway, yeah, the whole issue up there that Jeff is talking about, we got to get a handle on that. I've tried to do things. I've expressed to various ones here and such that the city of Union, and it was almost exactly a year ago.
Hey, Richard, that's a bad sign that you're here way too much.
That, yeah, thanks, Chief. I needed that. That I've been trying to discourage doing anything to County Line Road. Just like Jeff, I'm very pro development. I have 140 acres on the south side, over 3,000 foot of road frontage on the south side of County Line Road that is involved in all of this. And also I'm working and coordinating a bit with one of the representatives of the farm to the east of me to see what we can work out there also. So yes, we definitely need your help. And of course I talk to Monroe Township, to Greg Seafring frequently. My real reason I came here tonight was Jackson Road. I had another thing called to my attention I haven't shared, I don't think, with anybody yet. I looked out my front window and I saw people walking west on Jackson Road, and then about 5 minutes later walking east on Jackson Road. And I kept seeing that, and so finally I went out and timed it to get my mail and introduce myself and things like that. And apparently there are workers down at P&G, and I'm sure we'll see more, that about 1:30, 2 o'clock, between 1 and 2 o'clock, they like to walk up and down Jackson Road. And today, well, it's a break. And, of course, there are no sidewalks in the City of Union section and things like that. And, of course, the real reason that I'm asking is I intend to call Justin Yo, the state traffic engineer, who will be the person that will be reviewing the speed limit study. But anyway, to point out to him that there's a real safety issue because Jackson Road, as we all know by now, is 16 feet wide, chip and seal, not that it makes any difference, but there's no place out there for pedestrians to be walking. In fact, one of the things I did, Chief, was say, you really need to walk facing traffic, because I said they'll sneak up behind you because you won't hear them coming. And then all of a sudden I realized that with the fall time period, shadows, going in and out of shadows. Think of the number of times you go in and out of a tunnel, or even on, I think it's 23 that runs out of the north side of Columbus, north of 670 or 270 around there, that they have lights in the tunnels because the eye takes such a length of time to go to see anything that's in a shadow as you go in and out of the light. And so that's the reason I want to, and I'll send whatever I send to Justin to you, Erica, and stuff like that, but I think that's a parameter that isn't in the manual. But in this particular case, I think it's extremely relevant because they actually said to me, well, boy, people just fly up and down this road. And why didn't they cul-de-sac this? And I said, well, you're preaching to the choir. So I just want to let you guys know. Where are you in that? Have you submitted that yet? Because Gary sent me the work that he sent to you guys.
We're still reviewing it and still hoping to get some feedback from Mr. Applegate to participate in the study with us, or the reevaluation for us with us.
But I thought what Montgomery County put together for you guys really was just dealing with that which is basically across my property, west of Douglas Way.
Correct. Yes, they did the study for us. So we have to bring a resolution forward to the trustees. We received the analysis, was it last week from Gary? Because there was a piece of it that was still missing. So we received that last week, and we're evaluating on our end to decide what we want to recommend to the trustees as far as the reduction. And then we'll bring a resolution to the board. Once they pass the resolution, then we'll submit to the state for the request to reduce the speed.
Okay. All right. Well, I'll send that to you. I may ask you to send me whatever was missing in the report. I thought they had pretty much everything in there, except I was hoping it wouldn't be 40 miles an hour. So, all right. Thank you very much.
Thank you. All right, moving on to item 6, administrators' recommendations. Ms. Vogel.
Okay, First, we have a motion approving an agreement with the Montgomery County OVI Task Force for fiscal grant year starting October 1st, 2022 through September 30th, 2023. We approve this every year, and it allows the police department to be reimbursed for up to $6,000 for OVI Task Force.
All right, do I have any comments from the board? Do I have a motion?
I will make a motion to approve the agreement with the Montgomery County OVI Task Force for fiscal grant year starting October 1st, 2022 through September 30th, 2023.
I'll second.
Yes.
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 Okay, next we have resolution number 22-43, a resolution authorizing the police chief to purchase 2 new 2023 Dodge Durangos from Grieve Chrysler Jeep Dodge through state bid. As you know, at the last meeting, we approved the letter of intent for the purchase of the vehicles. Those vehicles actually fell through in the time frame that we were able to submit. So with this will be the 2 vehicles for 2023 again. Instead of V6 models, they're V8 models. And the total price is $99,670 for both those vehicles, and they're paid for through the police fund, Harson TIF fund, and the Singing Ridge TIF fund. So this would also increase appropriations in the police fund by $33,300 and the Singing Ridge TIF fund by $33,200.
And then the vehicles are expected to be delivered in 6 to 7 months once the order is accepted. We're going to do the wave, start doing the wave. So, 6 to 7 months sounds hopeful to me, but.
Yeah, me too. Any questions from the board? No? Do I have a motion?
Yeah, I'll make a motion to approve resolution number 22-43, a resolution authorizing the police chief to purchase 2 new 2023 Dodge Durangos from Grieve Chrysler Jeep Dodge through state bid.
I'll second.
Yes.
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 Okay, resolution number 22-44, a resolution authorizing the fire chief to purchase 1 new 2023 road rescue medic from Burgess Ambulance Service, Inc. through state bid. This medic is actually planned for purchase in 2024, and under their purchasing program currently would not be expected to be delivered until 2025. So we're getting ahead of the game and ordering this. Purchase price is $268,772, which is about 40% higher than what we paid for the same medic in 2020. So, yes.
Yeah, we were expecting to do this now, but 3 times this year I've received information that the price has gone up. So we figured, and we have an out clause if we want to get out, because that's a lot to ask for 3 years down the road. But it's the last medic, it was 3 months, it was on target, now it's when COVID started shutting it down, so we got it at 6 months. So now they're saying probably 30 to 32 months, so halfway through 2025. So it already puts us a year behind or so. So I did notice, I took it out of my memo, but I saw it was in this quote. I'd asked that we remove the year from the resolution, because we don't know if it'll be a 23, it could be a 24 or a 25. And we don't even know what chassis will be available in 3 years. So,
Well, and if I remember right, we've been planning this in the budget for quite some time.
it's budget, like I think what it said was it's in 2024.
Yeah.
4.
I remember we had
Yeah.
that earmark.
We didn't expect it was going to go up that much.
Right.
Even the price. The 42% it is today. It usually goes up every year about 3%.
Any comments from the board?
With his amendment, do we need to do anything in the way that we motion?
If you just make a motion, I can just revise the title.
I have no comments.
No comment.
All right. I will make a motion to approve resolution number 22-44, a resolution authorizing the fire chief to purchase 1 new 2023 2024, 2025 as needed, road rescue medic from Burgess Ambulance Sales, Inc. through state bid.
I'll second.
Yes.
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 Okay, next, resolution number 22-45, a resolution authorizing a final payment for the 2022 asphalt overlay program to the Montgomery County Engineers Office in the amount of $28,537.84. The amount will be paid for from the Road Levy Fund 2141. And this is just our paving program that we did this spring and early summer. And actually, our original estimate that the county provided was closer to this amount, and came back and they asked us to revise it and lower it, but then obviously with the increases this summer that we saw, the costs went up. So still not too bad.
Seems to be the story nowadays.
I know.
All right, any comments from the board?
No comment.
None here. I will make a motion to approve resolution number 22-45, a resolution authorizing a final payment for the 2022 asphalt overlay program to the Montgomery County Engineers Office.
I'll second.
Yes.
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 Okay, next I'm just requesting a motion to approve a revised trustee meeting schedule for the remainder of 2022. This is due to the timing of the budget review and the necessity for a budget workshop, and then also the rescheduling of this past meeting. So I would propose we would not have a workshop meeting on November 8th. We would have our next regular meeting be continued on November 22nd at 6 p.m. The proposed workshop date, I think I've heard back from most of you, and it sounds like November 29th, starting at either 12 p.m. or 1 p.m. is going to work best for the budget workshop. So That's probably what we just need to decide, if it's going to be 12 or 1, and we'll just keep it on the 29th. And then December 13th would be the next regular meeting at 6 p.m. And then our final end of the year meeting would be on Thursday, December 29th. And typically we do that one a little bit earlier. So if everybody's available at 5, we could do that at 5. That's just finalizing end of the year reports and approvals and closing out the year. So.
Okay, so for November 29th, do we want to do that at 12 or 1?
Doesn't matter to me.
I would vote 1 p.m. so that we could have lunch.
So you can eat first?
Exactly.
So you don't come in hangry?
Right.
All right.
I mean, unless you guys want to carry in a lunch to the meeting. I'm
No,
just saying.
I'm good with that. Like before. So we'll do it at 1 o'clock on the 29th. What about Thursday, December 29th? 5 p.m. is good?
On December, yeah,
29.
I will be out of town.
I'm good at 5.
I will be here 5 p.m.
All right.
Okay.
All right. You need a motion now, if there are no more comments.
Okay. Once again, can I just motion the top line and then everything else that's included can just be added? Yes?
Yes.
Okay.
Okay.
I will make a motion to approve the proposed trustee meeting schedule for the remainder of 2022 as follows.
I'll second.
Yes.
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 Erica, how much time do you think for that 1 o'clock meeting?
I would say we should probably be able to get through it in 3 hours.
Okay.
Fun times.
That'll be our goal.
Let's do it.
Been there, done that.
All right, moving on to item 7, informal business. We'll start the comments with Chief Porter tonight.
I've got two items. As you may know, we've announced retirement of K9 and Zorro. That will be effective at the end of the year. And with that, we've launched a fundraising program. CLC announced last week at their Sunday services during our Faith and Blue Weekend that they will be donating money in order to help us purchase the new K9 program. And in an amount of approximately $5,000. That may change, we're not sure yet. And we're looking at a grant out of Hamilton County grant K9 program down there that we're looking at to kind of offset the rest of the K9 cost. That's just the K9 itself. The replacement of the K9 right now that we're looking at $8,900. And then we're looking at purchasing the K9 out of a kennels in Pennsylvania, just on the Ohio-Pennsylvania border, just outside of Pittsburgh. And after that K9 is purchased, there'll be a selection process by a master trainer that we're working with out of the city of Kettering. And they will then provide training for our new K9 handler along with several other K9 handlers. They'll help us with the selection of the dog, making sure that the dog matches well with the handler. It's a 3-month process. We're looking at March through May when the training is going to be done. Most likely, one of these vehicles may be retrofitted, or we may be looking at another older vehicle to retrofit with some of the other K9 compartments until we can really determine the best way to do that very efficiently. We want to make sure that there's a different vehicle than what the old vehicle was, because dogs have a tendency of picking up on the old dog smells and really throw them off very much. And so we're trying to figure out the best way to do that right now. So it's kind of going to be a long process. Overall cost, I think, for this whole program is going to be approximately $75,000 when we look at vehicle replacement over time, the cost of the equipment, the cost of the dog, and then on top of that, some of the time and training.
I wonder what to do so
Time
much
and training
tonight.
with the new
Sensors back.
So that's pretty much what we're looking at. There'll be a selection process, the new handbook, and that'll be over the course of the next month or two as we start to put things together. We have to follow certain bargaining agreement requirements, so as we're putting that together, it'll be a course of submission with a letter along with an evaluation by your supervisors, along with interview process by two of our officers, most likely our current canine handler and lieutenant, and then two outside canine supervisors or canine handlers from outside agencies coming in to help us make that selection process, with a recommendation then to me at which time selecting the final officer. So hopefully we'll have that all in place by March, and hopefully we'll be ready to go to make that selection within the by that time.
All right, thank you. How about Chief Alick? What do you have for us?
Couple things. Our new full-time guy started yesterday, so we got one across finish line. We have another one in the process waiting on his final physical results. So hopefully we can notify later in the week if the successfully passed. So hopefully keep our fingers crossed he's back in full strength. And then we had, I think, 2 medics out, the fire engine out, and the car out last night. That's handy. So that went over for an hour and a half. No leftovers, unfortunately. We are aware that we're having light problems. We did not know that we were to this extent. They were coming on throughout the night. So at 1 o'clock, 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock in the morning, all the lights would be on. So they've been adjusted. So they were adjusted too far. And then we think the sensors are gone out. So we'll
That
see if
makes
Eric
sense.
has any money to replace those. That's all I have.
All right, thank you. All right, Mr. Barnett?
Montgomery County Engineers is going to be closing the west end of Jackson Road there at Frederick Pike. It'll be closed as of November the 7th for 3 days. They're replacing a crossover culvert pipe there. Our roadside mower that we had ordered, it was due in October. We missed that, so we will get delivery of that at the end of November, I'm being told. So with all the other stuff going on, as you all have already heard, they're down in Florida, so the hurricane didn't help situations down there. So anyway, that's not bad on my fault. So that's all I've got.
All right, thank you. Ms. Vogel?
Okay, I have, just wanted to make a note that our budget committee will be meeting for their workshop on November 18th. The MCTA Gala, you guys should have your invitations in your mail. It is on November 17th, and I believe there is a RSVP. If you guys want to let me know if you plan to attend, I can send in our RSVPs together. Our very own police chief is being recognized that evening for all that he's endured this year in his department and here in the community, so that'll be very nice. So hopefully everybody can make it. And then I think that is all I have.
All right. Fiscal Officer Brush?
Just to get on the record, we are collateralized appropriately, and so you know, we did actually move into a new investment vehicle, believe it or not, going up to 6%. So Eric and I, smart for holding off a little bit, and of course now we'll go up to 10%, I'm sure. At least we've got a decent vehicle for now.
Great, thank you.
That's all I have.
All right. Trustee Jackson?
All right, a few things. First thing is, this week was encouraged, took the opportunity that Erica presented as we're finishing up water testing up in the rural section of the township. Made some calls, and it was it was a fun time. So
That's good.
yeah, it was great. So there were a number of residents who, I heard from some different old timers who I think, just were not very clear on the details. So, being able to walk through it, and then also I personally signed up a couple of them who just don't have computers. And then also I talked with a few residents who are new, who had recently moved into the area, and so I think they were just a little bit unaware of, some of the things that were going on. So hopefully that bumps up our testing numbers, and excited to see what will come out of that. I think that has been overall successful, and as I heard from different ones, they were happy to get involved in it. I only heard from one resident who specifically did not want to test. So I think that more than anything, it's just communication, as we've talked about as a board, making sure that we're continuing to do everything in our power to communicate, because a lot of times people want to be involved, they're just busy. And so, whatever we can do to accomplish that. So I found that was a good thing this week. One thing that I wanted to ask the board about tonight, I was talking with Greg, and it was just kind of in passing at one point, like a month or two ago. We were talking about. I was telling him, I was like, yeah, it's a hard thing for us to be getting a lot of things done. I feel like we're struggling with these things. And Greg was like, brother, you've gotten a ton done, and the board's been doing a lot, and you guys have accomplished this year, this year, this happened this year, this happened this year. And I looked at him and I was like, wow, you're right. Like, there has been a lot. And I think sometimes with the craziness of everything that we're accomplishing every month, and looking back even over the year, it's hard to remember all of the things that the board has done, the things that our staff are accomplishing. I was thinking about whether we would be able to communicate to people like a list of, I've seen other municipalities doing this as well, like a list of accomplishments or different things that we're doing on a monthly basis or even a quarterly basis. Whether this would be something that would go out on our social, that would be fine, or even in some of the mailings to say, here's a list of either resolutions we're passing, different things that we're accomplishing. I think that it could go a long way to communicating to the residents what's being accomplished. And as we've talked about, setting the narrative, not on like saying like, here's what we are doing. So everyone's got things that they want us to be doing, but for us to continue to be saying, I got it. You see that? But for us to continue to be saying, here are the things that we are accomplishing. Mike, Missy, thoughts on that kind of communication piece? Do you guys like that idea? What do you think?
All about communication. That was part of what I ran on, was getting communication out there.
And then, Erica, how do you think that could work practically, just off the top of your head? Do you have any thoughts about the practicality of that?
Yeah, I mean, we can always do something in our quarterly newsletter. We can also do, if you want it to be monthly, we could do just a social media post, maybe after a trustees meeting, just to kind of summarize the month, social media and the website. So.
Well, it would help, like we talked before, the old story going around the campfire. It might help keep that credible information, to know where the process and where we're at.
Here's what we are doing. Here's where we're at.
I like that.
Those kinds of ideas, because it's just over communicating on the communication pieces. Missy, any thoughts from you on that?
I like the idea.
Okay. All right.
Yep. Good.
Well, yeah.
I like the idea that if we put it in our newsletter, we could just put a check mark. Check mark, whatever the item is. Or we can even just take that and put it on social media. It doesn't have to be fancy.
Right.
Well, I think the other thing it's going to do is, because usually if it's not happening in your backyard, you don't know if there's anything else getting done in the township. And it kind of lets everybody know there's a lot of items in the township.
Yeah, because you've got
Everybody's got their own stuff going on.
Turtle Creek neighborhood, they have no idea about the water testing. People in the rural community, I was even talking to Jeff, you don't really know what's going on with Miller Lane, different areas like that. So trying to build that cohesion as much as we possibly can and continue to build that identity. I think that communication will accomplish that.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay, and then the last thing that I just wanted to kind of open up for discussion here is, as we're thinking about, what Jeff was bringing to us. I think that, what we did in cautioning on my street right now in Kirchner, I was talking to some of our neighbors, has been extremely, it's been an extreme success. So I have not noticed any traffic. So I find that has accomplished, I think, because we're not able to say you can't, but to say, just be aware that this is not meant for that. Do we think that that anything along those lines could be accomplished in these areas where they're experiencing more traffic. Obviously, Kirchner's pretty far removed. I know Trix being up on County Line and Dogleg, that's kind of the hub of it. Is there anything that we are able to do along those lines that would be creative helping? Or what are your thoughts?
We could do the same similar signage on County Line Road because we do maintain County Line Road. Dogleg Road we don't have authority on because it's a county road.
Okay.
So
on County Line, we could at least approach.
But they do, and you guys do have some temporary signage, I think, up there that says like, yes, on County Line already. I mean, we could do the same, we could do a similar sign that we use that, I mean, that looks kind of more temporary. I mean, maybe it would be better to put our more permanent signs up there.
The thing that Jeff and I were talking about as well is that a lot of the drivers coming out of the manufacturing plants don't even read English. So a lot of them are coming from backgrounds where they're not even fluent in English and the capacity to read a sign as they're driving past. So something like what we did on Kirchner could catch the eye a little bit more, or even if there's a truck, sign on there. I know you can't put the slash through because we're not capable at this time of preventing, but some way to try to communicate like the warning of, I mean, specifically the cemetery, and things going on up there that's, a struggle.
Yep.
So I don't know if there's some capacity we would have there. And then I guess the second thing is do we have we received as the township any kind of transportation plan from Union or the TID or the county on like where trucks are supposed to go, any kind of accountability on these things? I know nobody wants to be held accountable on these things, but are there people that that we can go to even as trustees or on your end to say, what are we doing here, because this is not working and our residents are getting the bad end of this deal right now?
Well, last time when I met with the county, the last time when I met with Chris Williams, he said that they would be working on a signage plan. He said it's nothing imminent. I mean, it's not like they haven't started this process, but he did say that is something that the county wants to establish up there as a signage and truck route plan. So, I mean, I can keep touching base with him on that just to make sure it stays on his radar. That's something that we would like to see.
So is he coordinating that between Monroe Township and Union and all that, or just with us?
I would think it'd have to be a coordinated effort with all the jurisdictions.
Okay.
So, I mean, like I said, he said it hasn't started. That is something that they want to put in motion and something that they want to look at doing for the future. But yeah, getting everybody on board and bringing everybody together to do that.
Okay. Yeah, because I think the squeaky wheel will get the grease on that, because I think that while the answers might not be easy to have if we continue to push, whether it be us or even if we can direct residents towards specific email accounts or individuals to say, like, whether it be us or whether we're directing residents saying, let's get some action on this, maybe we can see something accomplished over time.
Well, if we don't get any action, it's just going to continue to get worse.
Exactly.
So can't just keep sitting on our hands on it.
Right, and so there's got to be, once again, there's got to be a communication piece to it, and then even if there's a way that we can put any teeth behind it, which, I can't think off the top of my head, personally, of how we would put any teeth behind it, but a way to try to, at least you can badger them. That's the least that we can do, in my opinion. Outside of that, maybe there are some other things that we can do to hold some people accountable and raise awareness. So, I think that's all on my end.
That's it?
I know, right?
Well, I've been a little bit out of town I've been down working on hurricane damage stuff I just got back Sunday night, but one of the things I did check on and I've been trying to stay in touch with is the water situation and what Bryce and you guys, I think we do need to make some more phone calls, and I would like to help do that. With the ones I know, we're at 52.9% right now, so we've got 153 out of the 289 wells.
52.9 is what we're at.
52. I just looked at the dashboard before I came. So we've got, and they seem to be happy with that from the engineering firm. They think that that's a good number, but I think we could make it a better number. And just like when I mentioned to you on Jackson Road, you must have said something to a couple people, because then the very next meeting, we had like 3 people on Jackson Road sign up. So I mean, just again, that communication of those people, because a lot of it, can be negative if they don't understand we need those data points. And we need those data points to go after the money. So, and I did talk to Phil today, and he's trying to secure a pretty large sum of money as we speak. So, but he doesn't know what that was, so we just threw some numbers out there that he's trying to secure, but we need all the information we can. So I would be more than willing to help start calling, making those phone calls as well, because I know you sent something out, Eric, and I got kind of behind on emails. It was half the time I was down there, we didn't have emails. Yep. We had nothing.
We've got a few more to go, so. And we probably have a few more we need to follow up on, probably knocking on doors too, so.
Well, and I think that what we talked about before is we wanted to concentrate it. If there's certain roads, like there, when we looked at Jackson that one time, there was like nobody on Jackson. So that may be people in that neighborhood just talking and not having the right information. So if we have a certain outlying stuff where it looks like 15 residents in a road do not want testing, then somehow there's information that's not being communicated properly. So anyway, I think that's about all I have for right now, but I'm all for the total putting out there where we're at, what we're doing, where the projects stand.
Yeah.
Because there's a lot going on. And again, if it's not in your backyard, a lot of people aren't going to pay attention to it. What else do I have?
It's like a summation of meeting minutes.
Yes, yeah.
Because it's like, if I'm a resident, I'm not going to read through the township meeting minutes unless I'm like super committed. Most people are not going to do that. But most people might peruse like a brief, here's what we accomplished type deal. They might see it on their social and be like, oh, that's cool. You know.
I don't think I have much else right now.
Okay.
Thanks.
All right, so back to the Jeff Trick property area. You also had mentioned a while back trash. The trash, getting, yeah, so I don't want to get that, I don't want to forget that when we're talking about the planning out there and stuff.
Raising awareness.
Yep. Also, I know I had mentioned this to Jeff before the meeting, and I know this doesn't have to do with safety, but there's a website called gps.gov, and what you can do there is enter where you're seeing trucks, semi-trucks, that they shouldn't be going down certain roads. And what that does is it tries to send data to like Google Maps or Waze, all of those, MapQuest, and to reroute trucks to safer routes. So, you know, maybe I'm doing it to no avail, but if we raise awareness, maybe the more people that report it, the more accurate the directions coming from the app will be, and it will and should be in their language.
Hopefully, yeah.
Right.
So that's kind of what Vandalia did, right, with the airport access and that? They tried to change that.
They did that up with Ingle Road, I think.
Okay.
That's ours, because
But
in
wasn't
Old
that part of
Springfield.
the reason why they increased that airport access? To try to reroute people to the airport exit, to increase the speed limit? Was that a similar situation?
It's a little different,
okay.
yeah. So, but anyway, so I think people don't know about that website, and I just wanted to keep the focus on the whole picture out there in the Northwest area.
That's good.
I think through your discussions, your ongoing discussions with the TID, and working through the whole thing, the TID can actually put countywide organization and to account with the TID, they can put information out to Google Maps and the Waze, and all that information in order to set up a lot of those different things. Individually, it's hard for us as an organization to do that, but I think with the TID, those things can actually be done. It happens in a lot of different metropolitan cities where those GIS systems actually get information gets pushed out to that in order to create better truck routes and better transportation.
Thank you. Okay, any more comments this evening?
I don't think so.
No? Okay, do I have a motion to pay the bills?
I motion to pay the bills.
A second. You
Yeah.
got something else to say?
The only thing I forgot, the only thing I forgot to
I think, John, you were in the back when he was talking about when the sheriff was telling him that that sign is a mere suggestion, that there's nothing that they can do as the sheriff of saying, don't go down there. And so that was, again, I think going back to prices, maybe that sign should be.
Yeah, they should be able to cite people though on, pulling into fields and people.
Is that possible?
Like what our department
That's
did.
private
with
property.
Kirshner, they should definitely have been cited for that.
Yeah.
So, but maybe the sheriff's department, if it's Miami County, maybe they didn't feel like it was within their jurisdiction or something. But
On the big picture of this, I don't remember, because I know I've had discussions with Greg Seacrest about this, but I think I said it to the board before. I own the northwest corner next to Jeff, and the only positive way to see people, they do not pay attention to signs. The signs which have been placed for both the union and the township, because on Jackson Road, they don't pay attention. But, but since I own that northwest corner there, keeping it within reason, I would donate the real estate of the case to make a cul-de-sac. A cul-de-sac, Boone Road, for example, I know people can come down all the way down to Miami County. Now, I've also, Jeff and I talked about this before, I own the first, one of the fast food areas on the east side of the Beltway, south of County Line Road, south of Mill Creek, and the same situation there. Of course, those are all things that I pass on to both the city of Union and the Transportation Improvement District, and there's absolutely no traction to actually solve the problem we're on. We're not going to solve it with signs, that's my wheelhouse, and John's good, of course, but we're not going to solve the problems with signs. They don't pay attention to what things are. We're going to have to close roads, cul-de-sac roads, put corners, so that you can't get there.
Thanks.
All right, do I have a motion to adjourn?
I motion to adjourn the meeting.
I'll second.
Yes.
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 Congratulations, John. I got a rabid planning session that night. I'm not gonna be able to go.
Thursday the 17th.
Yeah.
Sounds fun.
Hey, Erica. Hey, Erica. Yeah. I have a planning session that night on the 17th. Oh, you do? So, damn it. I know. See ya.
Thanks for coming, Kathy.